Ever wondered if your love for anime characters is healthy? Well, if you're watching this video, then it might not be, but that's okay. That's okay. Do you want to learn how to make it not unhealthy? We got you. Today, we will talk about why we are so desperate to connect to particular anime characters, attachment theory, and the psychology behind parasocial relationships on this episode of the Melanin Muses podcast. Hi everyone! Hello! Welcome back to the Melanin Muses. I am Cleo.
And I'm Callie. And today we're diving deep into a topic that hits home for so many of us. Why do we get so emotional and attached to these anime characters? Because let's be real, some of us have cried over fictional characters more than in real life situations. And honestly, there's no shame in that.
You know, I be crying really a lot.
And as always, we want you to be part of the conversation. So hit us up on social media and let us know who your favorite anime character is and why they resonate with you.
With that said, let's start with the big question, right? Why do we get so attached to anime characters? Like, what is the reasoning behind it? Like, why do I feel like my heart is so full whenever I'm watching Tanjiro mature and grow throughout the series? Like, let me tell you, in the beginning, this boy was just such a sweetheart. He was like responsible. He's taking care of his siblings. He's helping out his mama because, you know, he's like now the inherited man of the house and all of that. The moment, and I don't think this is a spoiler. I'm not going to mention names.
I was going to say, it's not a spoiler. It's the first episode.
But this is like later in the series, because, you know, this is one of those series. If y'all haven't seen Demon Slayer #1, watch it. Watch Demon Slayer. Tanjiro is stuck being in this parenting figure mode. Like, he has to be responsible. He's like saving lives and making sure people don't die and all that nonsense, right? But, you know, he's still a teenager. Yeah. He's still relatively young. And you don't really get to see much of that side of him. So the moment, like, I saw him have his first nosebleed after seeing some stuff happen, I was like, the baby. Like, I don't know why that struck my heart so much. I was like, oh, Tanjiro, the baby. He has his first, like, teenage mom. Anyone else? Just me? Just me?
No.
Maybe?
No.
Okay.
We
fine.
feel it.
I felt so much joy.
So much joy. Okay. Well, you know, the reason we feel as much as we do is attachment theory. And for those of you who aren't familiar with attachment theory, there are different parts to this. So it's the idea that humans, we form emotional bonds with people, right? And they give us comfort, they give us security. There's a sense of connection there. So there's also something known as a parasocial relationship. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that segment when you think about it from the perspective of social media. As we know, a parasocial relationship in essence is a one-sided connection that we form with fictional characters, celebrities, and even social media influencers. So don't come for us. But we love you all the same in a very platonic and basic way.
So you're telling me, and you're telling us, that we're not weird for, like, emotionally investing in artificial characters?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this is a perfectly human thing to do. We have a tendency to project our thoughts and feelings onto inanimate objects, as well as non-human things like puppies, cats, pets, all of that. That is no different from the media we ingest as well.
So, okay, let's expand on that a little bit.
Go for it.
So has there been a particular character in an animation piece or video game or book that you identified with, that you found yourself, like, attaching to more than normal? Like, who was that for you?
So, if we're gonna get personal, basically, I am a huge fan of the series Berserk. That is an epic of epic proportions. There's no other way for me to describe this story other than an epic journey of a man finding true purpose, making friends along the way, and battling insurmountable odds in order to achieve his ultimate goal: vengeance. I love me some Berserk and the main character Guts, because that mofo goes through a lot. Like a lot. You thought Odysseus had it bad. this guy can't catch a break. And when he does, it feels like such a monumental victory for those of us who are on the journey with him. As a clinical counselor, that speaks to me on a spiritual level because he has to go through all these things on his own. He gets very little help, but he also doesn't accept help. So, I feel like I'm his little muse on his shoulder, just following him on this journey and rooting for him and hoping that he has the best. So I laugh when the characters laugh. I cry when the characters cry. And I'm also very grossed out and weirded out by some of the things that happen. But I feel so much joy when he wins. Like, it's so fantastic. But yeah, that, for those of you who are Berserk fans, you understand. And I invite you to share what you can about that, because I would love to talk more about this.
Disclaimer, and y'all don't come for me, I've never seen Berserk. I know, it's blasphemy. I get it. I totally get it. But, I'm gonna put it this way. I have not watched Berserk, and it was meant to be because now I can just watch it with you, Callie. We can just have it be some tea and fun and get some snacks.
Oh, it's gonna be fun. There's a lot of trigger warnings.
Is it gonna tear me apart like Attack on Titan?
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
Oh.
Alright, so if y'all want me to watch Berserk, you know what? It's gonna be up to the audience. I'm gonna leave it to y'all.
Oh dear.
The only way I'm gonna watch this is if y'all tell me to. So if y'all don't make comments, I'm not gonna watch Berserk.
She doesn't know what she's getting into. Be gentle.
Yeah, it's up to y'all. If you want me to watch it, you let me know. And if y'all get to how many comments or how many likes should we do?
I'm gonna be generous. We're gonna start with 50. Only because, we're starting out.
Oh God, okay.
We gotta give people a chance.
All right, so we're gonna say 50.
I'm going to throw in from production on
What
this.
the?
Hello! For anyone that has no idea who this is Ben. If you're on the Scope YouTube channel, you probably know me. However, we do have the ability to put you in front of a green screen, and I have access to the Golden Age art for the proper movies. So if we see enough engagement here, we will indeed set you up in front of a camera,
guys,
to get this done.
Yes.
We can do a full reaction. I'm not fucking around. Anyway,
help me.
Back to you.
Guys, you don't understand. This is...
I needless to say, it sounds like they're very serious about Berserk. Help me.
It's like Christmas.
It's like Christmas?
We are indeed very serious about Berserk.
Okay. Well then, y'all. So then that means we have to raise the number then instead of just 50, right?
We'll put it in post-production.
Okay.
25, because I want to force this to happen.
So you heard about mine. What about you? What character have you emotionally bonded yourself to?
Oh God. Well, so something I've noticed, guys, is that the characters I bond most to are the ones I hate the most. And I say that psychologically because it's a reflection of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I've come to recognize the characters that bothered me the most. The more I got to know them, I was like, fuck, that's me. And that's why. So the top two characters, that is, I'll do one anime and then one just non-anime type thing.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the characters that I couldn't stand growing up, I could not stand her, and it's only in hindsight that I knew. There's Usagi, or Serena, for those who know the English version for Sailor Moon.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't stand her. But the more I went back to watch Sailor Moon as an adult, I realized I couldn't stand her because she reminded me a lot of myself. A crybaby and just very immature, but when things went down with her friends and people she cared about, she was on point and she was there for them and she was fighting even if it was really rough. I remember the one scene I would always cry on would be spoiler warning if you haven't seen the what's it called, not the Starlight arc, it's right before the Pegasus arc, and it has Saturn.
This is all news to me.
All news to you? Am I spoiling it for you?
That's good.
Okay, you don't care, cool. So spoiler warning for y'all. But Sailor Saturn, right? And it was toward the end of the sequence where there's like a big battle scene or whatever, and Serena, or as Sailor Moon, she wins the battle. There's this really big thing, and it's really dramatic. The music is just ridiculous, and it ends with her being completely depleted, and she just has the baby because now Sailor Saturn is like, she went boom.
A baby?
And there's a baby, and she's just holding the baby. Her eyes are blank because her power is just so drained, and she's just completely tattered. But she won the battle, and it's like she's standing in the rubble, and she's coming out, and it's just like, okay, we did it. Everyone's safe, and she's just so like, someone take the baby, and she's just because Sailor Saturn is like the scout of destruction. And after she like releases her power, there's this big thing. But then Serena's just like, no, we can't sacrifice her for like the better good. We need to save everyone here. And for some reason, that scene of her standing in the rubble, just completely willing to sacrifice herself to protect everyone, that sense of protection and love, and just wanting to, despite being like the crybaby who's like failing at school and always running late and always like seen as a problem. I swear, like she's low-key like ADHD sporadic, whatever. Maybe that's why I identified.
She might be coded.
And just from seeing that, it just always resonated, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's me. And that's why I hated her. And then I was like, now I love her. I think she's very endearing, despite being labeled as like the problem child, the failure in school, who's always running late, who's always failing her grades, who's seen as like the one who stuffs her face all the time, who doesn't fit the narrative. And I believe like she seemed very, looking back in it seems like she's very coded, and I could relate to her a lot because she was always the oddball that everyone seemed to be like, you're too much, you know? And that really resonated with me, being neurodivergent. I was always labeled as the person that was too much. So it felt like I was projecting my insecurity of that onto that character. So I'm like, oh my God. And I was like, oh wait, that's me. Great. And like transitioning into that was for someone who's non like anime related, for all y'all who are like Akotar fans, like Akotar Thorns and Roses. I see y'all. Hello. Hi.
That's a whole episode.
That's a whole episode. We're gonna get into that at some point in time. But one of the characters that I found myself, oh dear Christ, Callie and I had these conversations off camera. She's the one who actually converted me, so blame her. She's the blame for me getting into Akotar. Because I remember I listened to the dramatized version. So if y'all gonna pick it up, right? Listen to the dramatized version. They hired a full cast.
That's the only way.
It's a
movie for your mind.
It's a movie for your mind. I struggled. I literally struggled for the first like 2/3 of the book, because it's a lot of world building, setting up for things, and I just got really bored, and it was really hard. I was like, yo, Callie, I don't know if I'm gonna do this. And she's like, just keep going, you'll be fine. And I did. And once it got to the third section of the book, I was hooked. The book that I resonated the most with was the last book, and we'll go into this another episode. But the character that I couldn't stand, was Nesta. This bitch. I love her though. And I say this lovingly because like she is me. Nesta's behavior, especially from being so traumatized and being shut down and aggressive and angry to other people. I know I sound bubbly and cute, but then talk to my partner. When we first started connecting with one another, I'm like, you a masochist? Why are you still here? Because something that I recognize from Nesta and just seeing it in the pages and from somebody else is like, no one tells you that when you're on your healing journey, especially if you've been through a lot of situations, that healing process, you end up becoming the toxic one inadvertently, unless you have like specific things in place to help you not get there. You end up becoming toxic by accident. Not accident, but as a result of your trauma, because the things that you utilize to protect yourself, you don't really realize how bad it is, and you end up inflicting that on other people. And with Nesta's character, she is on the extreme end of that, because she's been through a lot, and at first it's really hard to empathize. But the more you learn about her, the more you learn about her backstory, you start to, it doesn't excuse. So number one, I want to say it doesn't excuse anything. So if you're doing things that are like out of pocket, it does not give you an excuse to do it, and you've got to take responsibility for your actions. But it can put into perspective that we can understand why you are doing something, and we can reflect and learn how to do better. So that's what Nesta's character was like for me, where I was like, oh crap, man, she's acting like funky. I was like, oh fuck. I did that in my beginning of my own relationship because this is the first time it's been really, really healthy for me. So people don't tell you is like you end up becoming a toxic partner until you recognize it, and then you got to take steps to unlearn that and be able to receive the healthiness. So seeing that in Nesta, I was like, damn, why are you reading me for filth like that?
Wow.
So these are ways that like books and animation can really call you out on your own nonsense. So then that way you're like, oh wait, fuck. Thank you.
So that is the balance of flaws and strengths that make these characters feel real to us. The reason that Nesta is so relatable is because she feels like a person that has ups and downs, that has traumatic experiences that help to color and shape how she believes other people and behaves around them, which is hilarious because that also comes back to attachment theory. Because when we think about attachment theory, it comes down to our earliest relationships, our parents. So if you grew up in a space where you were secure in knowing how your parents would treat you, meaning if you wanted a hug, you received a hug. If you wanted food, you received food. If you were crying, someone came and said, hey, bud, what's wrong? What can we do? And helped you work through it. Congratulations. You had the advantage of having a secure attachment. Now, for the rest of us fuckers, that's not always the case. If you have parents that say, hey, mom and dad, I'm hungry, and they say, get it yourself, you little shit, that creates avoidant attachment. You're not going to want to come to that person for help anymore because they slapped you enough times that you realize it's not even worth it, so I'm not going to do it. So I'd rather try to figure it out on my own, because it's a lot easier for me that way than expecting negativity or expecting good things and getting bad things instead. Then you got anxious attachment, which is sometimes you did get some good things and sometimes you didn't, but you never knew which one it was going to be. And so there's that flip-flop that's constantly happening where you don't know how to trust yourself, but also not how to trust other people, because there's never a secure place in which you could express that. It carries into our romantic relationships as well as our friendships in many cases, and it takes a lot for us to learn that security is possible within ourselves and with other people. So it makes a lot of sense why we are the way we are in many cases. And it has a lot to do with, the grief that we don't face, failures, our insecurities, and sometimes we just need a little hope to know that we can have secure relationships with people who probably have developed them themselves.
If y'all want to know more about attachment theory, definitely Callie is the person to go to for that.
Yeah, come talk to me.
Disclaimer, we are not here to diagnose you. We're not here to be your therapist. We're just here to provide resources and information and also entertainment. So we do encourage, if you have struggles that you want to talk more about, then seek a professional.
Exactly, because what we don't want is the development of that parasocial relationship where you believe that we are exclusively here for you, which is not the case. So yeah, moving forward.
Now that we talked about why we connect and the attachment theory and all of that, let's get into a little bit something deeper and the therapeutic power that anime and animation and all those things hold. Because listen, anime and all of that, books, is basically free therapy in a way. It doesn't, guys, it doesn't replace professional therapy. Let's just get that here. It does not replace professional therapy, but it can be a tool you can utilize to help you. But let's talk about it.
Okay. So generally, like Cleo was sharing before, when you have a character that you resonate with, sometimes there are points in your life where you're not able to get that victory for yourself. And that happens to many of us. So if you have a character that gets that victory that you so desperately are seeking, it could be a moment of catharsis. A moment where you can live vicariously through them to achieve that victory for yourself and give you some semblance of validation or even just a brief moment of hope to know that it can be done. And that's why these stories are so important, is that they give you alternate perspectives of how your story could possibly go or possibly has gone at some point in your life. That's kind of what we're hoping to do here as well with our podcast. Is introducing these stories to give you a better perspective or even a different perspective. and know that you're not alone in the things you're experiencing. Hope is our key ingredient.
Piggybacking on what you were saying, Callie, I remember someone mentioning to me as well before is that sometimes we tend to ruminate over things. And so for those who aren't familiar with ruminating, it's one of those things where you're constantly replaying a scenario over and over and over and over and over again, and you just can't get out of it. And sometimes one of the ways that is said to help you with that is to visualize the experience of how you wish it would have gone, or changing the scenario so that way like you're the victor in a way, in a healthy way, to kind of give you that own sense of healing and solution, like the catharsis you were talking about before. So I think that is also one of the reasons why when we resonate with certain anime or books or whatever the characters are, if like they are going through a situation, like specifically even if it's a traumatic situation, regardless if it's like dragons or whatever, if it's still something very similar to what you experienced and you see them, like you said, win in that situation, it could be like, oh my gosh, so I wasn't the problem, or oh my gosh, like so it was feasible to do something, and that could be a sense of healing. And I think that's why a lot of people can resonate with certain things. Like I know for me it was like Fruits Basket, and that's gonna be a whole nother episode, we can go on to so many tangents when it comes to like Fruits Basket, like Toru Honda and all of the characters there. That's a very, let me preface, 2019 version of Fruits Basket, guys. 2019 version. Anyway, it's so good. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Watch it. But anyway, when it comes to like Toru Honda, like I felt so much healing in her character. Like in the beginning when I watched it when I was younger, I couldn't stand her because I was like, oh my gosh, she's so annoying. But as an adult, that is my comfort anime. That's my go-to anime. Whenever I get really upset, whenever something happens, I tend to throw on Fruits Basket as my comfort show. And it's just so emotionally fulfilling. No matter how upset I am, I will laugh and I will cry and I would feel better, and it'll help me release that. And I tell my partner that too. If like I'm upset, just sit me on the couch, put a blanket over me, throw some food at my way, and then just put on Fruits Basket. And like that's the way of navigating it, you know?
You just explain that remind me of a Vine where it's a chihuahua on the couch and you just see him sitting there, and then he starts panicking because somebody drops a bunch of like chips on him. And I'm just like, what? Why do you do that to him?
I mean, yeah, just eat some food at me. Like, you know, make it cake, or, you know, I don't know, bubble tea.
Something.
But that's like Fruits Basket was that thing for me. It's like even the characters are going through so much drama, and this is something like even as creators and all of that stuff, like we write our characters or create our characters and we put them through some shit. And we just be like, you know what, this is our catharsis, so we're gonna fuck you up. But you know, it's just a sense of healing.
So that's like the perfect, oh my god. So guys, let us know who your favorite characters are. We want to hear it from you. What do you see in them? How does it resonate? Just kind of help us to understand your perspective, because we would love to hear your story and maybe get a chance to share it here on one of our episodes.
And if you feel like someone else can benefit from this episode, please share it. And you know, the community, the Melanin Muses community is growing, and we want you to be a part of it.
Thanks for spending time with us. Until next time, keep watching, keep feeling, and keep embracing your inner muse.
Bye.
The Melanin Muses podcast is produced by Nikki Brojan in partnership with Benjamin Collins and Scope Productions. This episode was also edited by Nikki Brojan and Benjamin Collins. You can find a video version of this podcast at youtube.com/Scope Productions. Feel free to reach out to us at Melanin Muses Podcast on Instagram and YouTube, or email us at melaninmusespodcast@gmail.com.